Hey everybody, welcome to this special edition of our Glisten podcast. I know some of you may have found yourself all of a sudden to be a homeschool parent with all that's going on. And so I know that may bring all kinds of levels of stress, and I know that there's all kinds of different situations out there, whether you are maybe a single parent or maybe you're a working parent and you still have to go to work, but yet your children still have to be taught the material and the material still has to be turned in, or maybe you're able to stay home with your kids. I know that there's just all kinds of variables in this situation and we were not prepared for it, but I want to offer you some help. So I brought in the big guns today. I brought in all of my greatest friends that are homeschoolers so that they can give you some tips and some tricks and some ideas to help you today. Welcome, Melissa. So glad that you are here. So you've been doing this 11 years, 3 kids, yes. And you're on the last leg now.
My senior, my baby.
He is a senior and he is a genius.
Yes.
So, I mean, my goodness, you've got military knocking on your door trying to see if they can recruit him because he is so great with computers. So you must have done something right. I mean, I know you're a genius. But, so tell us a little bit, I guess maybe tell us some of the things that you have learned over the years. Tell me some of the mistakes that you've made. Let's talk. Why don't you tell them just to make them feel better? Let's just talk about a mistake.
I'll be honest with you. So Peyton, my middle, he was always a challenge, and I literally stabbed him with a pencil in the leg. Like, I think there's still a mark on. He's 21 now. He reminds me to this day, Mom, you stabbed him with a pencil, because it's not easy.
Yes.
It's just not easy doing, and everybody is so different. Every child is so different. And you have your strengths, and one is good at math and one is good at science and my English. But so Peyton, he was my challenge. I stabbed him with a pencil. Don't do that at home. Do not do that at home.
Do not do that.
Don't. So, it's just, with Cameron right now, he's a senior. And so it's all about prioritizing. And what do you do? And, I made lunches and I did all these things and I made lists. And every single child is so different. So it's just learning. This one learns at this time. Peyton, he never wanted to get up before 11. Cameron, he doesn't want to get up until 1 o'clock. Roby was always 8 o'clock in the morning. So it's really just learning what works for each child, and just don't get frustrated. Just try to be patient and just really try to learn what each child needs, because not everybody can be fit in a box.
Well, I like what you said about the timing, because everybody, I know that I'm kind of a morning person.
Yeah, me
My
too.
husband is like a night owl,
Yes.
so it's just like all of us. We all have different times of the day where we can be more productive. So that's good to know. But how important is a schedule? So once you determine, is it important to have somewhat of a routine? And then how stickler should you be to that routine?
Well, for us, it was each person is different. So one may wake up and eat breakfast, the other may not. It's really individualizing each one, and you cannot grow frustrated. Because I know I didn't. That's why I stabbed my son in the leg. Because I was like, dude, you've got to do what I say, because I am that person who has to be so organized. But it really is learning. This one goes by this schedule. This one may go by this schedule. And it really does make it freeing when everybody learns their way of doing things. And it's fluid. Right now, in these times, everything is fluid.
Yes.
So you just have to learn what each person needs. The way that I operate may not be the way this one operates. And so it's just we have to find our place and find that we have to be fluid during these times.
Obviously, they have deadlines. So I've talked to some different parents who they have to work. Both parents have to work.
Right.
Yet their school is requiring them to turn their work in at night, every single night.
Right.
And so they are really stressed out. So, so obviously you can be flexible, but also work has to get turned in.
Right.
The school is expecting it. The teacher is expecting it. So what do you do? Did your kids ever get behind? How did you handle getting behind? Or, is it okay to say, you know what, today we need to take a mental health break? We're just all going to have to play. And then do we make up that work later? How do you navigate that?
Right. Well, for us, it was a matter of, okay, what number one, what was this person doing today? So did he have to go to work? Because all of my kids have always worked during school, so that was always a big deal. So it's what can we do now based on how they are, based on what time we would get started, and it really it made it so easy. I say easy in such a sarcastic term. It was so easy. It really wasn't easy, but it was just really finding out, okay, what does the day hold? What does today hold? Because we really could not determine what tomorrow held because we don't know. Being a pastor, you just don't know what tomorrow holds. Yeah. And so it was focusing on today. We would like to say that today the schedule is perfect, but that doesn't always happen. So if we could just dial in on those couple of hours, those 3 hours, if we could just really focus in on, and then we could focus on the rest of the day. I know for us, recess was always, let's go wash a car. Let's go to the movie. That's recess, which is so crazy. I know that all those home educators, that's ridiculous, But for us, it was what worked for us. Yeah. And it was just focusing on today. We couldn't think about tomorrow. I know that we had schedules and we had all those things, but we just really, what does today hold? And that's what we focused on, and that we would finish today.
And I think it's a good thing to think about is developmental levels. Like if you think about children, the way that they learn, elementary kids learn through play. That's how they learn. Right. And so being an Enneagram 7, I love to have fun. I know. So you learn better. I mean, brain research shows that we will learn it if we're interested in it. Right. And so if there's some way that you can make it fun and enjoyable, I think that will definitely bring some joy into your life and some happiness into your life as a parent as well. Yeah. But I think that I love that. That's so good. So I hope this brings some grace into your life and some hope into your life. Yes. I did find the top 10 mistakes that parents make, and I'm just going to close out with the top 10, and I think that these are even hopeful because it's going to make you feel so much better, I promise. So this is the top 10 mistakes that parents make. Overscheduling, trying to get too much done in one day. Absolutely. Underscheduling, not scheduling enough. Unrealistic expectations. Oh, that's a big one, right? Disorganized schoolroom. So if you can have a place that they like to work, we didn't really talk about that, but just a place that they like to work. And then if you're skipping breaks to shorten the day, if you want to try to knock it all out, and we're going to knock this out in 4 hours, guys. We're going to do this thing. They need breaks. Right. You need breaks. Yes. They need breaks. So I need mommy breaks. And then becoming a slave to the curriculum. That's one part that's been chosen for you that a lot of homeschool moms get to play around with is curriculum. But that's been chosen for you if you're at home and you're in the school system. So that's one thing. Then doing it alone. Don't do it alone. And don't put the role of teacher above the role of being a mom. Oh, your mom first. That's good. Your mom first. So don't try to get those flipped. And then not being flexible and not having fun. Yes. So hopefully this will help you. I hope that this advice will bring some hope and some grace into your life. And I would say just a little helpful tip: work with the teacher. Let them know your situation if it's different than the traditional situation where there's a mom that can stay home and focus completely on that. I would say that the teachers, the parents that I've talked to, the teachers have been pretty understanding and understand what is happening. So just don't put so much pressure on yourself, and I hope that this will help you today. Make sure and check out in our show notes some links. I've got some links for you for all different age groups. You're not alone. We have all kinds of resources that you can tap into. And make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel and also like, share, all that good stuff, and look for us on Instagram and all the places. And thanks so much for joining us today.